evil genius. All right, everybody, we'll turn the volume up, kick your feet up, get comfy, because you have officially just re-entered the cave. Welcome back, cave dwellers. I hope you missed us. We certainly did miss you, of course. And we're really thankful that the football season is back. It is bringing us back together again. I want to welcome back my amazing co-host, the evil genius, Mr. Pepper himself. Welcome back,
What's happening, folks? Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it. It's everybody's favorite crazy cousin, the most powerful comedian in the universe. I'm here. You're welcome.
I feel like I am getting back to my old self now that I am back on my podcast, because I did miss it. So I'm excited. I had quite a few people asking me about it and asking if we were going to come back. So I thought that was awesome. I was like, wow, people really cared if we were still doing this. So I love it.
I think we're important. We're important.
Important enough to where somebody cared enough to ask me about it. And that's cool with me.
Yes.
So we just wanted to bring you guys a quick episode just to kind of get you started before the regular season. And they'll be a little bit longer down the line, but we just wanted to cover a few topics before the season started on Thursday. We're going to hopefully give you an upset pick of the week, our division winner picks. And obviously, of course, we're going to pick the two teams we think are going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be aspirational this year because last year I felt like I was being too practical, and I'm going to be very aspirational with my picks. Of course, you know, this show cannot avoid controversy and hot topics. It's what we do best. So we have to talk about the Khalil Mack trade and also Colin Kaepernick being the face of the Nike 30th anniversary campaign, which both me and the evil genius have been like probably going to need massages on our thumbs after the day is over from all the conversations and battles we've had online due to this topic. So I'm excited for us to talk about that. But all season long, we plan to bring you guys just really great content, so definitely stay tuned. But do make sure you catch us every Thursday morning is when you're going to be able to catch us online. You can follow us for updates on Facebook and Twitter at The Cave Sports. You can also download our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and, of course, Google Play. This year, we are going to also be available on YouTube. I had a lot of people request that too. So just make sure to follow us and turn on your notification bell on YouTube. And we're going to go ahead and launch a YouTube channel so you can actually listen to it there as well.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Also, I like it.
Okay.
I know I said I was going to do it last year and I was in the middle of 7 projects and everything was insane. I am going to set up the Instagram account so you can follow our picks every week on the Instagram account.
There we go.
So mainly so my co-host Anastasia can follow our picks and not cheat me like she did last year. And
wow.
Everything.
I'll tell you right now, even if I gave him 3 weeks worth of winnings, I still whooped his ass, which is hilarious. I killed him in picks.
There's no proof.
The bottom line, and it probably didn't help him that he wasn't watching half the games. That definitely didn't help you. So
no, it didn't. It did
hopefully this year you'll be a little bit more on top of your game.
Yes. I've got some things cleared out, and my life is far more in order this year than it was last year. So,
but order is no fun. So
it's not. Don't worry. There's still some chaotic stuff in there. Don't worry.
we all need a little chaos, that's for sure.
Yes, but at least this year I have a stable place to live and to be at all the time, so
that
we're
makes
all right.
A huge difference. Well, yes. Also, you know, both of our college teams have a lot going on this year. You have the Urban Meyer issue at Ohio State. See how that's going to impact the team. And then we have Frost now. So we have a brand new coach. We actually have a Husker in there. And we're going to see if eventually, hopefully, Nebraska can actually be a real contender in the Big Ten. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just tired of not even being in the conversation anymore. So last week having our game canceled was like, dang, what a blow. But this week we are playing Colorado, which, is a big rivalry game for us every year. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the Frost era. And I'm curious to see how Ohio State is going to, deal with not having Urban on the sideline for a few weeks. So we'll see.
Well, I can tell you right now, they're just going to keep running up scores on people.
More than likely, but hey, a girl can dream. A girl can dream.
I had a feeling that the guy coming in at QB was the truth. He is the truth.
Yeah.
And I think Urban Meyer coming back in 4 weeks might actually slow us down.
Could be.
If they just let them be right now.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
Well, you don't really have the stress because everybody's like, well, you don't have your coach. So it's almost like you have an excuse and the pressure isn't as great.
Exactly.
So we'll see. We'll see what Ohio State does. I'm always, even though I'm a Husker fan, I'm always going to root for Big Ten regardless. So as long as I get some Big Ten in the playoffs, I'm happy. So that just keeps our conference relevant. And that is important.
Yeah, I feel like as far as for you guys, I feel like you guys within 2 years, probably that third year, you'll start making some noise in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think so too.
As usual with brand new coaching changes and that kind of stuff, I don't expect much from any team when they've been in turmoil and then a new guy comes in.
Yeah, but bringing in a Husker to run the Huskers, I think is huge. I just think we're just one of those types of teams that they just have to be Nebraska. They have to be.
Yeah.
So we'll see. One of our first topics though of the day is going to be, as far as the NFL is concerned, we're going to pick our upset of the week. For me, my upset is going to be San Francisco over Minnesota. I just have a lot of faith in Jimmy G. And I just felt like San Francisco put the pieces in play in the offseason to really be contenders this year. So I mean the spread is 6 right now. So I just see an upset happening.
That's fair. This game is in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. And that's why I disagree with you on that. I also feel like San Francisco has put some pieces in play, but let's just put some pieces in play. I think the offseason might have broken up some of their Jimmy G momentum. They just lost their starting running back.
That's true.
Gone with the ACL tear. And Minnesota's going to come out emotional as they lost their coach a few weeks ago in the preseason. So I see them handling business at home. Now, when you say that, though, do you think they're going to cover that spread, though? I think they're going to cover that spread at 7.
Interesting. I have the spread at 6. We'll see.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. At 6. That's what I think they'll win by a touchdown.
Okay, so we'll see. Just make sure to watch that game, listeners, and just know that I picked that to be an upset. How about you?
Come on now, you know who I'm going with. This is ridiculous.
Cincinnati.
Somebody has Indianapolis by 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know who put that.
They just found their quarterback off the trash heap 3 weeks ago.
That's not even.
Everyone's just like, is his neck still broken?
Yeah, that's not realistic.
Is his back broken?
And first off, do we know Andrew Luck's starting or is it Jacoby? Who's starting?
Who knows? Did they find the offensive line? That is junk.
Well, they said that they've been putting together the line, but I mean, come on.
It's great. Everyone says that every year. No one comes out of preseason every year and is just like, yeah, hey, our O-line is hot garbage. We should quit now.
Yeah.
They always say, oh, these guys have been working hard and some things and stuff, and we can do some stuff and things and stuff.
I don't even think that's an upset, though. I mean, I just feel like that should have been flip-flopped anyway. That's not even an upset.
Exactly why my next point is, if you guys want a real upset, look out for Houston versus New England.
Yeah, I kind of looked at that one a little bit too, but Deshaun, I need to see. I just really need to see him. I'm not convinced yet. Coming off of that type of injury, anytime you have a major injury like that, it's just like, I mean, you notice that Nick Foles is starting in Philly, so. They don't want to come out and say that Carson is not ready. They don't want to just come out and say that, but clearly he's not ready.
Yeah,
and I don't really know how ready Deshaun is too. I'm definitely gonna be watching that game because that's gonna kind of tell me a lot about where that season's gonna go.
Yeah, he's had like I think he hurt his knee maybe 6 weeks before Wentz did.
Yeah, he did.
So
He heard it
I'm
before.
thinking, I'm thinking he'll be all right, and I'm thinking that if Houston doesn't win the game, they're gonna beat the 6 points. New England always starts out slow.
Yeah, that I do agree with, and I think that's a fair upset. I feel like that's a fair one. All right.
Upset special. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
Pep's
so
gonna
we'll
take
call.
a New England Houston game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take San Francisco over Minnesota. All right. Well, now we're gonna look at our division winners. So last year we picked our division winners as well. I like doing this because hopefully, at the end of the season, we're gonna be able to look back on this and be able to see where we got it right and where we got it wrong.
Exactly.
I was a little bit aspirational in some of these opportunities. So bear with me
So
on
you,
that.
yeah. It's okay.
So we're going to start off with the
Football
AFC
is
East.
about heart.
We'll start off with the AFC East. I'm having New England win the AFC East.
Until Tom Brady retires, New England is always going to win the NFC East.
AFC East?
Oh, sorry, AFC East. Where are we at?
AFC.
My bad. I'm getting messages and we're cutting out.
You're supposed to turn off notifications. Turn off.
I did. What it does is keep muting. Like it'll like I hear a little vroom and the vibrate and it goes. I'm like, damn it.
All right.
My apologies, cave dwellers.
So AFC East has the Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and then the Jets. I think it's a clear New England Patriots out of that one. Are you
Easily.
Patriots too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patriots all day. Buffalo has no offense. The Jets don't have an offense, and they're starting a rookie. And you should never trust Miami.
I can't trust Miami for anything, and I am definitely curious to see, what's going to happen with the Jets. But as the Bills, I don't foresee it, and the Patriots are basically floating high up there. I mean, like, this is when I feel like you need to be shaking up divisions sometimes because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're just skating through, straight to the playoffs.
The Patriots could go 8-8 and win that division this year.
Correct. Yes. Just skate. They can skate right on through.
The only thing I trust about Florida is racism and guns.
Oh Lord. Well, if they get Gillum in there, that'll definitely be an adjustment. So I'm at least excited that there's even a chance that they can make some changes. So we'll see. All right. Well, how about AFC North? We have Baltimore, Pittsburgh, we have the Bengals, and we have the Browns. Who do you have coming out of the AFC North as division winners?
Who they think they can beat them Bengals? Nobody.
Aspiration. Okay. So that's what we're going with, aspiration?
That's what we're going with. My aspirations turn to facts. Y'all gonna be like, oh man, maybe we should have listened to Pep. You're damn right we should have listened to Pep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Out of the
That's
North.
great.
AFC South, we have the Texans, we have the Colts, the Jags, and the Titans. Now, the Jags took it last season, correct? I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep.
Titans were close, but I think Jags took it. But I'm gonna go with the Texans, and I'm gonna hope that what you're talking about with just Sean Watson will be accurate, and he will be healed. And I think that they can pull that off because I think Blake Bortles is still highly suspect, and I never thought he should have been a spot starter, and I never thought he should have been drafted third. And I still think he's suspect, so.
I'm with you on all that. I actually think the whole Jags team is suspect.
Highly suspect.
They caught a lot of people. I think they caught a lot of people by surprise last year. Yes, their defense is solid, but I think the book is out on them, and they're not going to have the same kind of year they had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm with you right there. I'm with you right there on the Texans.
I think it was almost like a solid underestimation of what the Jags could do, and then people were kind of caught off guard, like you said. So I just don't foresee that happening again. I mean, if they surprise me, fantastic, but no.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to have my own aspirational moment out of the AFC West. I'm going to put my Broncos in there. We won it every damn year until last year.
I figured that was coming.
And we had a moment, but I feel like we have a quarterback, and I'm hoping that having an actual QB that can throw the ball past 10 yards or past 15 yards will be a benefit for us. Someone that won't turn the ball over.
I like you guys. There's just something I just don't trust about you yet. Mainly with that running game. You guys have been doing like a 4 running back starter rotation for the past couple of years.
Well, we have Lindsay in there, which, you know, Lindsay is my neighbor from back home in Colorado.
That's great.
Yeah, so he lived across. I have known him since he was like literally like a toddler, probably longer actually, and knew his sisters and grew up with his sisters. So to see, I always tell people when he called T.O. to ask him if he could wear his number, and people are like, "Oh, I don't know about that." And I'm like, I think you guys need to understand where this young man comes from. You know, like we don't. It's not like that we're from the hood or anything. Like it's Aurora, Colorado, but at the same time, it's not a flashy area. We didn't live in flashy homes. You know, we're like neighborhood kids. So if you see his family, he comes from a large family. He has like, I think there's like 4 or 5 of them at least. You know, you come from humble beginnings. If you knew his character, you know, you should be that type of person you'd want to wear a T.O.'s number. I couldn't, you know, and I don't think T.O. would want him to wear 30 unless, you know, he felt like he was worth it. So to see him as a running back on the Broncos, and, you know, this is a Colorado boy through and through. Went to CU, now is playing for the Broncos, went to high school in Colorado. I mean, you can't paint a better picture, a better story. So I'm excited for him. That's
good. That's a heartwarming
Isn't
deal.
It?
It's great that
Cue
you guys
the violin.
You guys will be tied for second with Kansas City. I'm going with San Diego to take that division.
The Chargers would be the only ones that I would think could maybe do it.
Yes, this will be the last hurrah for one Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
And I know I still call him San Diego. I don't care. They mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
They are definitely San Diego, and I don't know what this LA Chargers nonsense is. But I will say, I still do not trust a man that doesn't have a real tie. And Rivers wears a bolo tie. So until that man puts on a real tie, I just don't trust him. We'll never trust him.
You live in Arizona, am I correct?
I don't like bolos. I don't trust you.
You live in Arizona, am I correct?
I don't see any bolos around here.
Look up the official tie of Arizona.
I don't trust Arizona either.
It is a bolo tie.
So there you go. I don't trust Arizona either.
Little fun fact about your state.
It's not a real tie, okay? It's not.
Hey, you get the little ones with the scorpion in them? Those is dope.
Goodbye. Well, Pep's going to take the Chargers then this year. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Broncos.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Oh, jeez. We're going to move on to the NFC East. The NFC East has some great teams in there, actually. I think that they have some decent competition. You have the Giants, you have the Redskins, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Eagles again this year. I think they still are very solid, and I would not be surprised at all if they win their division.
I wouldn't be surprised with that either, but I'm just going to go with an upset just because I feel like it. And
Giants.
I think it's Eli Manning's last hurrah as well, coming from the East, and they got a running game and their defense in order. And a happy receiving core with all kinds of money.
They did invest a lot of money. We'll see if it pays off.
It's fruity money, but hey, you know, I'm okay with that.
Not on this show. Stop it right now. All right, moving on to the NFC North. I got a lot of gay friends. NFC North. We got the Vikings. We've got the Packers. We've got the Chicago Bears. And then we've got the Lions. I want to know who you're picking first.
Until the death of Aaron, I'm rolling with Aaron. Till he retires, Aaron and the Green Bay Packers.
A-Rod just signed a massive contract. I'm definitely taking the Packers. I think he has a rejuvenated spirit and energy. Now that they're going to pay him what he's worth.
With great vengeance and furious anger.
I mean, if they're not going to give you the players they need, the least they could do is give you a check. I mean, it's got to be one or the other. If I'm not going to get paid, I better have the best of the best in talent. And if that's not the case, then you better pay me.
Yep.
And so I think you will probably see him have a way better attitude. with that. All right, we got the South up next. We have New Orleans Saints, we have the Panthers, we have the Buccaneers, and we have the Falcons. I'm taking the Saints out of the NFC South.
I'm right there with you. This is going to be another year of tough divisions here. Mm-hmm. But I'm with you on Drew Brees.
I agree. Drew Brees looked great last year. He is really not showing signs of aging like I thought he would. And I think sometimes people forget about him. Like, they're so wrapped up in Tom Brady and, him defying, I guess, the laws of age. And I think they forget about Drew Brees. I'm like, Drew Brees is out there still balling. And on top of that, Brees had the rocket arm. Like, Brees does not have the rocket arm.
All 5'9" of him.
Yeah. If Matt Stafford could have the accuracy that Drew Brees has, he would be a scary individual. I would be really worried about Matt Stafford because he has a gun of an arm too. He just has no accuracy. I would say even Cam Newton has that issue too. Has some accuracy issues, and he has a cannon arm. So it's very rare that you find someone that has an arm like that. John Elway is one of them, and they're able to pair that with accuracy. If you can put those two things together, not only are you going to the Hall of Fame, but you're always going to keep your team in contention.
Definitely.
So we're on the same page, and we're going to go with the Saints. And then out of the NFC West, this is also a tough division, I think, this year. We have the Cardinals, we have the Rams, the Niners, and then we have the Seahawks. Now, for the Seahawks, with Pete Carroll, I mean, he could kind of be on the chopping block with this. It is the last year of his contract. So, if they don't need to come out as division winners or come out, and have a playoff spot, we could see him go bye-bye. Who do you have coming out of this division?
We can see him go bye-bye and even on the retirement tip.
That too. Pete's getting up 70.
Yeah, Pete's getting up there. And he's not the rocking chair kind of guy. He wants to go live life.
Yes, he is, definitely.
I could see him hanging up the cleats and taking off somewhere in the RV with his wife or something.
Well, you got Shanahan coming out. I mean, you've got, what's his name in LA? What's the coach's name in LA?
Hell if I know. Isn't he like 28 years old or something?
They're all young, yeah. And then you have Shanahan at San Francisco. I mean, so you have a lot of young coaches with that are definitely pushing the notion that you need age in order to be successful as a head coach or to have a level of respect. And I think for a lot of these players now, it's not about age. It's about, can you help us win? We want to win. I'll respect you if you can show me how to win. And I don't care if you're 12 or 75, if you can do that.
Yep, need that Madden generation.
So who do you have coming out of there?
I got LA. I got LA's defense. I think is going to handle that division. I would like to see the Cardinals do well. I don't think Seattle has enough weapons on offense, and I feel like yes, Russell Wilson is all world, and he does far more than he gets credit for up there.
He does.
Their aging defense, I think, is also the biggest issue. Like, I don't think he can hold down the offense and the defense. I don't think he can get them to score. He can score enough to keep them in games, but I don't think he can score enough to overpower a lot of those teams. And I just love LA's D. I still hate Jared Goff.
Oh, I love him.
But
you were a big LA hater last year. Let us remind the audience what a hater you were. So I find it interesting that you would pick them to be the division winners. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I still don't trust their quarterback, but they made some moves on defense, paid the right people, and brought some other people in. Like, yo, let's smash up some people up the middle. Cool.
Well, I'm taking LA definitely. Now, who knows? Russell Wilson might sit up and be a linebacker for all we know. He is on a Wheaties box right now. So if he ate his Wheaties this morning, he could probably play both.
Sierra ain't going to let her baby get hurt like that.
Oh, man, I love it. All right. Well, those are our division picks. So we're curious. Cave fans, let us know what you guys, who you've picked for your division winners. Definitely tag us online. at the Cape Sports on Facebook or Twitter and let us know who you guys got. One of our fun picks, obviously, is we're pulling some of the clear blue sky is our Super Bowl teams for this year. I'm going to be part aspirational and part practical based off weaponry.
I'm doing exactly the same as you are.
Okay. Well, out of the AFC, I'm taking the Broncos. I'm assuming you're taking the Bengals, or are you going to be practical?
Yes. No, I'm taking the Bengals right there. Yeah.
So we're going to take our own teams out of the AFC, which, I mean, you guys know we have to give some love to our own teams. And we're going to be aspirational. The NFC is where we can be practical. And I'm going to go with the Rams out of the NFC.
All right. That's nice. I like it.
Who you got?
I am going with the team that was one fluke play away from going to the Super Bowl last year, and I'm going with New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. That's a good pick. I was kind of wrestling between New Orleans and the Rams for sure. But I like that pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I feel like if they hadn't got hit by that fluke Hail Mary stuff in Minnesota, I think they would have beat the Eagles and gone to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Which I love the story of Nick Foles winning, though. So I'm not mad about it.
Oh, yeah.
The city of Philly.
Anytime Tom Brady is in his Ugg boots crying at the end of a game, that's a good thing.
I need to pull my Ugg boots out. It is pumpkin spice basic season, so.
Oh. Have fun with that. Do you have any Nike Ugg boots, by the way?
I wish I do. I did wear my Nikes though when I was at the gym today. Nice. So I did have my Nikes on, and now I was like, now I got to get some more, and just to add to the collection, because that's just to make people mad,
Yeah.
I feel like I want to be Nike down, like Nike hat, Nike bag, Nike shirt, Nike draws. Like I want to take it to the next level, just so you have no doubt in your mind who I'm supporting.
Yeah, I have.
I'll make them red and gold. Everything red and gold.
I've been a long time Adidas guy. Nikes are too narrow. My feet are flat. I can't rock them. Mm-hmm. And some of the kicks are fly, but I can only wear like 3 types of Nike shoes, like those Air Max joints with the full air on the bottom. Mm-hmm. I can wear those. And there's only like 2 other shoes that actually fit my foot. I just don't roll with Nike, and I've always been an Adidas guy. But I will at least get some kind of apparel. Like I've seen a couple of fly jackets or some kind of workout gear. I'll go ahead and support the cause, even though they're all made by some little Indonesian guy in a sweatshop.
Probably. But well, we can make a smooth transition into our cap talk. I did want to. We're going to cover cap, but I probably would actually cover that last because it is a little bit more in depth. But before we move to that conversation, I did want us to just kind of touch on the Khalil Mack trade and him moving to Chicago, and how we think that coaching that Gruden situation in Oakland is going to either be their saving grace in Oakland or their impeding downfall. And I'm going to go with the latter because I don't think any coach should have a 10-year guaranteed basically contract. And it's like they spend all their money on the coach who hasn't been coaching in how long?
Yep. This is the dumpster fire that we call the Raiders.
I mean, they're reverting backwards. They're going backwards.
What I attribute this to
ownership.
Everyone's just like, what are they doing? I don't understand such and such. I don't get it. I don't get it. Did y'all not remember Al Davis the last 20 years in the league?
I'm like, ownership? Ownership?
I'm like, this is the type of shit that the Raiders do. I'm like, if there is not a prouder father son moment than what happened over the weekend. That is, it was like Al Davis is rolling in his grave, and it's like, no, he's not. He's dancing. That's the type of dumb shit that he would do before he died. It makes sense to me. It's horrible.
I'm going to tell you right now that I just watching that whole situation play out. I'm like, you literally have one of the greatest defensive players in the league for a while he was the greatest.
Yep.
I mean, it is unbelievable to me that you would let somebody like that go. And the reason you can't just and it could be because of money, but you don't have any money because you're paying this coach.
Exactly.
That's why you're broke.
Exactly. It's
you bet the farm on the dude. You put all the eggs in one basket.
What's sad is that even with Khalil Mack, they had a shitty pass rush. So now with him gone, who name two other defensive players for the Raiders?
You can't.
Who's going to be on the line?
And you have a quarterback that can't stay healthy. So I'm just waiting for him to be one more hit away from, I'm out again.
Going to hang out with his brother.
Butterfingers Cooper that you want to pay. He can't hold on to the ball.
Yep.
So
it's sad.
I'm just confused. I just wanted to kind of bring that up because as I watched it all kind of play out, and I know my dad is doing a jig right now, for Chicago, getting him there, and I know Chicago fans are like, yes, thanks for being stupid, look, give him to us. But hey, I
like Chicago for knowing how they roll.
Oh yeah. Chicago's a defensive team. They've never been an offensive team. They've never needed a star quarterback. They just needed somebody that wouldn't turn the ball over. That's all they've ever needed to win.
They're like, look, we are a city of stud linebackers.
Yes, that's what we do.
We never have a winning record unless we have a stud linebacker. From your Nitskis to your Singletaries to your Urlachers. We need a stud linebacker. It was like, yeah, you can take these 2 picks that we ain't gonna need later on. Take them. Give us the stud.
Right. That one that's already ready and prepared. It's so. We'll see. Definitely keep a lookout for that. Just kind of see how that impacts Oakland. That's why Oakland dropped to the bottom of my list for division after that move. I was just like, okay, we'll see how that works out.
I had them at the bottom
and
anyway.
Chicago definitely became more of a contender.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so now we want to get to the juicy part because this is why when we decided to do our podcast today, we were even delayed recording this podcast because Pepper's thinking it was only him on his phones and tablets and stuff responding to the ignorance surrounding this Kaepernick ad, and I was like, nah, dude, everybody's phones are blowing up with notifications because we're all literally it's like talking to brick walls through social. And I hear people always say I don't know why you do that, but this is how we communicate now in the world. I don't know any other way to say it. People can try to avoid it and act like it's not a reality of our life now, but we are a digital technology focused world, and how we communicate is this way. This is how we talk now. Instead of us being at the barbershop, we talk via social media. So either be part of the conversation or honestly be left behind. That's just kind of where we're at now. So I don't want to hear anybody tell me, why are you talking about this on social? It's called social, to be social.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. We're being social. So at first, when I was making the post, I don't really see as much in my own timeline anymore because a lot of those people got weeded out during the Trump election time period. So a lot of the people that probably would have been making the most noise during that time period no longer show up in my feed because I'm probably not friends with them anymore on Facebook. But some of my other friends, and in particular some of my white friends, they still have some people they know that they're witnessing, an abhorrent amount of posts that are negative and ignorant regarding the issue. So they're talking about it now, and they're like, I can't believe the people that I've known are so, it's like they can't believe the level of ignorance now. And I'm like, hello, we've been telling y'all.
That right there is my favorite thing to look at on social media. Is my white friends having arguments with their racist white friends.
Right.
That I just sit there with my Michael Jackson popcorn meme.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this white on white crime is awesome. It is hilariously entertaining. Unfortunately, I have a lot of comedian friends from all walks of life. And obviously, as performers, we're opinionated and extroverts to some extent. And
Right.
so I've got arguments going left and right and up and down, and it's all over the place and funny, and all at the same time.
It's it's really kind of one of those situations now where um I was having a conversation with an individual about it, and for those that don't know, I mean, you had to be living under a rock, but Nike has first off been paying Kaepernick this entire time, so he's already been on the payroll for this whole time. So for people that were so adamant about not supporting Kaepernick, you didn't even take the time to look into things that he's connected to see what you were buying and paying for, because you've already been buying it. They've been supporting him this whole time. When you and I remember for you and I, when we were like, well, we want to watch the NFL, but we'd rather boycott their sponsors. We did the research to see who those sponsors were. These people didn't do that research, and now that it's all coming to light, they're like, wait a minute, what's going on? I don't want Nike. And I'm like, he's been getting paid already, though. It's too late.
Yep.
And so they're not noticing that he's one of the people that they're representing with their 30th anniversary. But Nike in general has always been very controversial with their ads, and they've never been afraid to do that. I was listening to Colin Cowherd. He was talking about how like the only sponsor that didn't leave Tiger Woods was Nike, and I think for them, they knew that Tiger Woods made Nike Golf. Like without Tiger, there would be no Nike Golf division. So
exactly,
they are already showing that they're a very loyal brand, even when you F up. they're gonna find a way to spin this in your favor. They're gonna tell your whole get knocked down and get back up again story. So
and I don't remember.
They're good at that.
I don't remember the advertising campaign. I don't remember if it was around the last Summer Olympics or something, but I do specifically remember seeing a Nike ad with the guys from the '68 Olympics holding their Black Panther fists up in the air, and after winning the gold and silver medals in track and field.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was a Nike ad, and people don't realize that Kaepernick is just the 2016 version of those two guys.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
They were completely ostracized, and they had their gold medals stripped for trying to bring light to the injustice of Black people in America.
Yes, and we are still there. And instead of people being mad at the fact that we're still there, they're more mad at the fact that he's kneeling.
Yeah.
And I'm in these conversations with people, that it is interesting because one of the guys is like, well, I don't even know why they're doing this. They don't even say why they're doing it. They never explain it. And I'm like, I've seen about 800,000 interviews where they've been explaining it in great detail. So I'm trying to figure out what you're watching that's preventing you from seeing how much detail they've been explaining this in. And I said, I want to know how the guy running for governor in Texas, red Texas at that. I want to know how that dude was able to put a logical few paragraphs together telling me exactly what it is they're protesting, yet you can't.
Yep.
It's clear as day to that dude. Know. And he's a white man.
They don't want to know. Yep.
So that's my thing is you don't want to know because the reality of it is scary to you, is frightening to you, and it makes you feel some kind of way, and you don't want to acknowledge it, and so you're coming up with this fake patriotism to prove your points, and your point's not valid. Then the next thing you want to do is tell me if I don't like it, then I can leave.
Ridiculous.
As if you didn't bring me over my ancestors on a boat. I'm like, okay, well, where's the ship at? Because I'm sure we didn't ask to come over here.
Well, first of all, if there's any boats that are going anywhere, it's the white people boat first that are taking the pilgrims back to.
I'm like, you're an immigrant. If you are not from Mexico, if you are not a full-blooded native, not 5%, okay, or the 10% you're claiming, more than likely because one of your ancestors raped a native woman. It's probably how that happened. If you're not one of those people, you are not native to this country. You are an immigrant. And at one point, if you were Irish, they talked about you. If you were Italian, they talked about you. They treated you like you were less than. This is nothing more than a ploy to take poor people and find a way to make poor white people feel better than somebody. For you to ignore the fact that you're poor and the 1% is continuing to let you live in this poverty. So they had to give you something to make you feel like you're better than something, as opposed to looking at who the real enemy is. That's what it all comes down to. The quicker people understand that, the better off they'll be. If by you acknowledging that there's a problem in our society, it doesn't diminish your whiteness. It doesn't make you less valuable.
Or your patriotism.
It doesn't diminish those things.
I had somebody trying to say that it's not about being divisive. It was just a bad move by Nike because of business-wise. And I'm just like...
this is one of the best moves they could have ever made.
I know. I'm like, Nike was in a garage 30 years ago, and now they're the number one shoe and apparel company on the planet. I don't think that's a bad business move. Plus, when you look at the athletes and the majority of athletes that wear their stuff and use their stuff, I bet if you pull up the roster of Nike, and I'm willing to bet about 60 to 70% of the athletes on the Nike roster are black athletes.
Right.
So how do you not support the people that you already have on your roster, that you're already giving $1 million to wear your product?
Because you're entertainment. They want you to stay entertainment. Entertain me. Don't try to educate me. Don't try to scold me. Don't try to do any of those things. Entertain me. That's how it's been for our entire existence.
Yep.
Is to please, entertain, and serve. That's the issue here. I don't know if we're going to get past it. I think as long as we have the type of individual we have in the White House, in the highest office of the land, it's kind of hard to expect everybody else to
fall in line.
You know, it's hard to expect that, you know?
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm sure we're going to continue to watch this, and it's obviously still something polarizing. The big thing is that they did not allow the NFL to dismiss his case, which is huge. Yeah. So that tells me right then and there that there is at least a shred of evidence to support the fact that he was blackballed.
There was more than the shred.
Now I'm just trying to be, you know, politically correct for the people. There's at least a shred. Okay. There's enough to the fact that the courts say, no, NFL, you will be going to court over this.
Yeah.
So for all people that tried to say, you know, this is not some witch hunt, this is not a nothing burger, like you want to say the whole Russia thing is, that doesn't apply to this. Okay. They go into court.
Plain and simple.
Right. So
it's great.
Definitely keep on track of that. I'm sure we'll continue to talk about some of those hot button issues as our season progresses. We're going to bring back the Evil Geniuses WTF moment of the week. I'm going to bring back a whole bunch of cave conquering moments as well. And we'll talk about the power rankings each week as well. Do some debates. Hopefully have a few guests in. I've had a few people already ask me if they can guest, which I think is kind of cool.
Sweet.
Try to be on the show. So we'll see. I'm sorry
to interrupt, but you just added in the WTF moment. I do have to say just real quickly, what the fuck is up with Florida schools? Like Florida State and Miami? What? Y'all know college football started this past weekend, right? But whatever. That's my WTF of the week. Sorry, Florida people, but
look, Florida's still at the beach, okay? Where I like to be.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely look forward to those WTF moments. They always give me a laugh, and they definitely bring something to this show. So I'm excited to see. Not really excited, because sometimes I'm just like, why did that have to happen? Because I feel like a lot of the WTF moments circled around all this controversy because it just kept coming. And yeah. I'm hoping, I'm just hoping that, oh my gosh, that we could just like, can we give me half a step forward at this point? You know, I'm not even asking for like a full step. Give me half a step, and I'll feel better about what's going on.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that is our show for this week. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The K Sports. Pepper, do you want to tell them where they can find you at online?
You guys can find me at Evil Genius Pep on all social media platforms except for Snapchat because I have shit to do in life. And I'm everywhere. Facebook, Pepper Lamb, Evil Genius Network on YouTube. Let's get it.
He's such a Snapchat hater when they have the best filters. So get on that filter life.
Yeah, I don't like Snapchat filters because I don't know what women look like anymore. Everyone has sparkles on their eyes and like a cat nose, and I'm like, that's no.
I've told
like
many men to tell women I need to see a filter-free photo of you. Filter-free. It's a shame. It's a shame now we have to say hashtag filter-free. But that is real. That's just the way it is right now.
Yes.
Well, I'm your host, Anastasia.
And I am everybody's favorite crazy cousin, the most powerful comedian on the universe, Pepper the Misunderstood Evil Genius.
And this, of course, is The Cave.
You have entered The Cave with Anastasia and the Misunderstood Evil Genius.